Hey guys, how's it going? It's Josh Lloyd here. We're talking NBA on a Thursday with interesting stuff going on as the news has just dropped about Devin Vassell. I'll wait for some more people to get in here before we talk about this. Yeah, but it's not great. Obviously, we'll talk about it in a second. How is everybody? Welcome. Good to see you guys here. Yeah. I like Vassell a lot. It's just annoying. And I know that's going to bring out all the conspiracy theories about this injury and the situation, which, again, if that was the case, why isn't Keldon Johnson having surgery or Jakob Poeltl having surgery? I think he's just got a bung knee. And it's unfortunate in this situation quite clearly. How is everyone? We good? All right, still wait for a few more people to get in here, and then we will talk about Devin Vassell and the situation there and what we're going to do in that spot. I'm going to just open up a few things to look at on my end here so we can go through some stuff. Welcome, everyone. Let's go and do dribble game while we wait. Flick that over. And then we'll go through Vassell, then we'll talk about today's games. Trae Young and Fred VanVleet, teammate of those two. Trae Young and Fred VanVleet. The Holidays? No. Okongwu, no. Capella, no. Otto Porter, no. Ken Birch, no. Who is this one? DeJounte Murray, no. Raptors player. Hawks player. This is obviously not Flynn. Thad Young, no. Boucher, no. Siakam, no. Birch, no. Hernan Gomez. What am I missing here? Who am I missing with this one? There we go. Delon Wright. I saw that in the chat. Thank you. Good one. I couldn't get that one. Don't know what was going on with me there. Let's go back. Thank you for the assistance with that. Let's go to the lineups and see what lineups we do have confirmed. We just have the one so far. It's the Magic. Jalen Suggs is back. Minutes restriction off the bench. Fultz, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. Bol is still out, as is Mo Wagner. All right, let's see. I think we've got people in here now. So let's talk Devin Vassell. Knee surgery, arthroscopic knee surgery. Remember, that doesn't actually tell us anything. An arthroscope is the type of procedure. An arthroscope is an instrument, and it's what they use so they don't have to cut the whole knee open. It's a really small thing that they can get into joints and see what's going on, like a small camera, and then they can do surgery that way. So it doesn't actually tell us what the injury is or what they're doing. Sometimes they go in there arthroscopically to clear out cartilage, to repair meniscus, to debride stuff. There's a number of different things. Arthroscopic surgery describes the type of surgery, not the type of injury. So we don't really have a time frame, but you're getting your knee cut into, right? Something's going into your knee, so we're talking minimum 3 to 4 weeks. There's no way he's back within 3 weeks. Look, he's not having the surgery till next week anyway, so I think we've got to rule him out for probably 4 weeks here. It's most likely, I would think, with a knee surgery, you're most likely looking at 6 weeks. Is that the end of the fantasy playoffs for Devin Vassell? Probably. It probably is. I think All-Star break is maybe a decent, that's 6 weeks about. That's probably an okay return, but the fantasy season is probably in some doubt, I would guess. I'm just going to rule him out until All-Star break. Again, I just don't see knee surgery and the rehab bringing someone back that quickly. Now, the question's going to be, what do we add someone? Now, we have seen multiple instances. 3 of the last 4 games he's sat, and nobody is really an ad. Langford started against the Mavericks. He played 17 minutes. Josh Richardson played 17 minutes. Branham played 21 minutes. We had another instance where Vassell was out and they started Langford. He played 28 minutes and scored 23 points. Richardson played 19 minutes. Branham played 19 minutes. We had another incident where Vassell was out. This was last game, and Langford started and played 13 minutes with 7 points, and Josh Richardson scored 20 points in 29 minutes. So the two key candidates are going to be Langford and Richardson, but production and minutes are going to be all over the place. Like, they're going to just be streamers, I would expect. A lot of people are saying, well, what does this mean for Sohan? Does his usage get a boost? Well, he had 7% usage last game in a game that Vassell was out. I'm not sure how much that actually impacts him. We saw big Trey Jones usage last game, but there's no guarantee that there's any level of consistency in the usage. Like the other game, Sohan had 17 usage, and the other game before that, he had 20 usage. And these are all without Vassell. So there's no guarantee that he gets his gigantic bump. There's no guarantee that Richardson gets a gigantic bump. There's no guarantee that Langford gets a gigantic bump. It's just going to be a whole mess of guys, and I wouldn't rush in 10 or 12-team leagues to add anybody. I would consider Richardson in 14-team leagues, but he just, about 2 weeks ago, sat out a back-to-back. And he's questionable again for tomorrow. Like, there's no one that I think we need to look at to add here. So there you go. I hope that covers it. Is it time to drop Vassell? Don't know. It's, obviously you put him in IR if you can, but I honestly think that we're just not going to see him until February, and then he'll be limited. And if you definitely need production now, well, he's not going to provide it this month. He's not having the surgery for another week, so I don't really expect. I think dropping him will end up being okay. I think. All right. Hey, Josh, Bones or the Shark for this back-to-back stream? Well, last game, it was Bruce Brown who started for Jamal Murray. The game that Bones started was one that Bruce Brown was out also. So I probably lean Brown. Probably. Do I think Aussie's Macca's fillet of fish is barramundi? I would be really surprised if it was barramundi, to be honest. I highly doubt it. Okay. What do I think the impact on Wood will be when DFS and Kleber comes back? Kleber is not coming back. Like, not until probably April. So don't worry about that one. DFS, I don't think it impacts him really at all. Like, it's not like Wood's playing 35 minutes a night. He's playing 30, 31. He's down to 26 over the last 3. He's just blocking a ton of shots. So I don't really think it's an impact at all. Better stream for today, Hardaway or Vanderbilt? It really depends, isn't it? You want rebounds? It's clearly Vanderbilt. You want points and threes? It's clearly Hardaway. You want field goal percentage? It's clearly Vanderbilt. You want free throw percentage? It's clearly Hardaway. I'd probably lean Hardaway, but really that's just going to depend. It just depends on what you need. Let's go through injury notices for today. We've got the Grizzlies lineup confirmed. Desmond Bane, after they told us he wouldn't sit back-to-backs, he is. So it's Morant, Conchar, Brooks, Jackson, and Adams. Let's look at the injury statuses of who is in and who is out today. Des Bane is out. Brandon Clark is out. Bol is out. Mo Wagner is out. Jalen Suggs is back. Rob Williams is back for the Celtics. Finney Smith and Green are out for the Mavericks. Eric Gordon's playing the back-to-back. Jayshawn Tate is back as well. Colin Sexton is out for the Jazz. And then for the Clippers, Batum is out. Paul George is still questionable. Kawhi and John Wall are not on the injury report. So there you go. The Rockets, I think probably the most interesting thing to watch today is Jalen Suggs, but more importantly, the Rockets rotation. What old mate Silas does is someone is going to miss out in a big way, and I don't really know who that is. Yeah, I don't really know who that is. Do I like the Rockets +7? Patrick asks. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think they'll get beaten. Do you buy low on Zion? I think you can buy him for a really cheap price at the moment. So yes, if you're in a strong position in the standings. Is Duarte a must in 16? Probably is in 16, although he's not really playing particularly well. But probably is, yes. What do you do with Josh Hart and Al Horford in 10-team 9-category leagues? Are they a drop? Well, it really would depend who you'd be adding in place of them. Like, they're relatively secure minutes-wise. Hart is struggling a bit. Horford's struggling a lot of the season. And yeah, obviously the turnovers is what keeps his artificial Yahoo rank inflated, Al Horford, because a lot of his other numbers are poor. In a 10-team league, I probably would still hold them, even though they're not playing particularly well at the moment. Since when did Jaren start playing back-to-backs? I think he's played the last 1 or 2 of them. What makes Mark Williams a better luxury stash now compared to Nick Richards doing his hot streak? Mark Williams has a better overall fantasy profile. He's a better field goal percentage guy, I think, a better rebounder, a better shot blocker. They've invested more in him. He's a top 15 draft pick. Nick Richards was a second-round guy. He put up massive G League numbers, Mark Williams. And I think there's a larger chance, and plus we're also closer to the middle of the season and the end of the season. The fact that he took over from Richards now, it means that we are closer to a Mason Plumlee trade, a Mason Plumlee benching. Like, teams like to keep those veterans in early parts of the season. So when Richards put up the numbers at the start of the year, you would have been waiting 3 or 4 months maybe for something to happen. Now you might wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's easier to stash in that situation. And I don't look at a team and go, why would you move on from a mediocre veteran to start a mediocre young player in Richards? So the incentive to me there wasn't really there. But now that Williams has taken over that backup role, I think that the incentive to see what he can do as someone that they would believe is a core part of what they can do is higher. I hope that answers it. Yes, I have talked about the Vassell news for quite a while. If I had to do Amazing Race with one person, who would I choose? I'd choose my partner. I think she'd be pretty pissed if I didn't. Is Suggs worth a stream today in a 16-team league? Probably, yeah. When a top guy like Devin Booker gets hurt, how do you salvage the points category? Never any points on the way. Yeah, it's tough. Points are very, very hard to find on the waiver. I know people, you can find scorers who get 11 points or 12 points, but it's not enough. You can't make up that difference. It's really, really tough. It's almost impossible. You almost have to pivot away from being a good points team while someone like that is out. Do I think Miles Bridges is going to play? No. Oh, yeah, here we go back. Cam Johnson. I've noticed Cam has consistently been a 5th-round player, even though he's been out and other players' values have adjusted. Firstly, please turn off turnovers. He is in no world a 5th-round player, and no one should value him as a 5th-round player. Other players' values have adjusted. There's no reason to adjust Cam Johnson's projections because he hasn't played. So I don't need to go in and go, oh, well, this is the trend of percentages dropping or rebounds going up or assists going up or anything like that. So his values don't really change because I don't need to go in and edit them because nothing's changing with his play or performance or role or anything like that. I think he still remains as that guy who you look at as a top 100, top 90 at best sort of a player. But yeah, once someone is injured, there's no reason for me to go in and adjust all their projections because literally no information has changed for me to do that. What teams do I see resting in fantasy playoffs? I think if you just think about that too much, you're going to kill yourself. Also, if you set up your league correctly, you won't be playing in those parts of the season, so it won't matter. Again, it is really hard to know. We could have said, oh, the Pacers, right? Okay, they're good. The Jazz, they're pretty good. Last season, who rested guys? The Kings, a team that is desperate for a playoff appearance. It's really, really hard to predict that sort of stuff. And I think if you make significant moves in your fantasy team to try and do that, it goes wrong for you a lot of the time. Is Grimes a 12-team must roster? Yes, he has been for weeks, LB. Any more crazy rainfall we heard? No, it hasn't. It's been just a million degrees. It's been so hot. Although the last couple of days have been a bit cooler, but no, we haven't had that. Rain was insane, actually. Do I expect Plumlee's numbers to start dropping off? Yeah, I really don't know what the point of them, once we hit February, why did he need to play 28 minutes a night? I really don't think they'll do that. Did the Magic ever communicate what kept Suggs outside? No. Ankle soreness is all they said, which is clearly a lie. There's something else going on, I'm sure. But they never tell us anything. Amongst all the must-roster stashes, Gafford, Nance, and the Bronco, how would I prioritize? Well, Gafford is first. He's producing at a great level. Nance is injured, and his role goes up and down. He's limited in some areas. I probably still... Yeah, Gafford is number one. And then it probably is Nance, then Williams, I'm guessing. How long do I expect Bradley Beal to be out? Well, they've already said he's out at least 3 games. I'd say he's out. I'd say 4. I don't think he'll be reevaluated after 3. I don't think he comes straight back after that. I would expect he is out at least all of this week, all of next week, maybe a bit of the next week would be my guess. Best assists and points streamer today. Tyus Jones or John Wall? I'll take Tyus Jones with Baines out, not John Wall. Is Cam must roster in standard points just cats? He is better in a category league, so I'd probably grab him in a category league before I do in a points league. Who will no longer be a first rounder next year after a mainstay for here? I think Harden. Well, people said that about Harden this year as well. I think they might have said it even last year. So I don't know why. Why do we expect Harden to drop off? It really just depends on what team he goes to, and what things happen. But Harden just puts up numbers all the time. So I don't know. It's a bit too early for me to sort of look at that stuff as well. Will Trey Murphy still be rosterable when everyone's healthy? I highly doubt that. He'll have a consistent role, but it's probably be 25 minutes, and that's probably not enough. What's Kyle Anderson's role when the team is healthy? We saw that. It was like 23 to 24 minutes a night. We've got information on that. Like we saw it at the start of the season. Hypothetically, if Jeremy Grant misses tomorrow, who's the main beneficiary? Well, they have been going with Jabari Walker in that spot. I don't know whether they do that again, but he has taken over from Trendon Watford. Now, in the past, it would just be, hey, I'll look at Trendon Watford. But they've gone away from that. So I think Watford would still be in the mix, but not to the same degree. Would they start Jabari? I don't know. They might start Sharp and play Josh Hart at the 4, but I'm not, yeah. It's very interesting to see that change in the rotation, and it's maybe a little bit cheeky because I don't think everyone's noticed it. But Jabari Walker is currently ahead of Trendon Watford in the rotation, and that could be an opportunity. I don't know that it will be, but it could be. That's one to watch. Do I look weird with no beard? Yeah, I do. Guys, I talked all about Vassell for the first 10 minutes of this show. And I'll talk about it again on the recap show later today. But after this is finished, go back and watch it. I'm not going to repeat it all here. Am I getting the Jordan 1 True Blues? I don't think so. They look okay, but they're not for me. Bates, Diop, and Ad, I really don't think so. I didn't even talk about him, so no, I don't think so. How many more FanDuel points do you think get added to Kawhi's projections today if Paul George is ruled out? I'd say 5. Who's going to produce best numbers in points leagues tonight? Steven Adams or Dylan Brooks? I'll take Brooks. What other news do we have? Nothing else there. Is Paul George playing? No, he is the only one that we don't know. He's questionable at the moment. He's the only person whose status we're unaware of at this point. Is Nickeil Alexander-Walker worth the stream look table? He was pretty bad last game, but he still played 18, 19 minutes. And I'm sure there are better options out there, but yes, he's at least someone to consider. I don't think he's going to play 25 or anything like that, but at least he should be able to be better than he was in those 19 minutes last game. Any idea on Stix' role moving forward? He's their backup center, and not much is really changing with that. Yeah, Grimes was must roster before RJ got hurt, and I think he's must roster now. So yes, add him. I don't know why he would still be on your waiver wire. What are the chances Paul George play tonight? Normally a questionable tag is 50-50. I'm be very, very surprised if he plays though. Is Josh Shu a W? No, I like it. I think it looks really good. What do you think of the Ja Morant ones? I think they're really good. Eric Gordon worth a stream today? Better than KJ Martin? Well, they'll definitely play Gordon over Martin. So, yeah, I'd say he is. But look, Martin was great last game, but that's... Look at all of the games that Martin plays when Gordon's there, and he doesn't ever do that. There was a one-game sort of situation. Bruce Brown is worth a stream. They've got a back-to-back, and Murray probably sits tomorrow. This trade went down in my league. What side would you rather have, Butler or Anthony Simons or Edwards and Michael Porter Jr.? Well, I wouldn't want to take on Butler. I know that much. But it would obviously depend on my team and what my team looks like, but I wouldn't want to take on Butler. So it's probably Edwards. Is Capella or Byler? Yeah. Do I find it odd that players like Bain, who play 30 minutes after injury, rest back-to-backs? No, not really. A back-to-back is pretty ridiculous to make a player play and then suit up again less than 24 hours after they just played, and he's coming off an injury that cost him 4 weeks on a toe issue that's going to give him pain for a while. So I don't think it's crazy. And even if he had played 25 minutes, I don't think that means you can play. It doesn't work quite like that. It's not like, well, let's say I normally play 35 minutes. If I play 17 minutes each night, it's the equivalent. It isn't really the equivalent because you still don't have that recovery time. And even if you only played 18 minutes on the first night, it doesn't mean that you don't need to recover from that. You still do, and your body still needs to recover and repair, and injury risk is increased on back-to-back. So, no, I don't find it odd at all. Is Najee Marshall an add-in? Yes, he is, until Ingram returns. Yes. Use number one waiver on Sohan in 16. Yes, I think in a 16-team league, you would want to add Sohan, yes. I do like Mark Williams, and I've said this a million times. I think he's a great luxury stash at the moment. Obi, what's wrong? Do you want to come up? Obi's trying to come up. No? You don't want to come? You just want to sit down there? All right. You sit down there. Okay. Man, Kennard, or Gordon better streamer in points leagues? They're all pretty gross, to be honest. I don't really have faith in any of them. Hey, Obi, here we go. I don't really have faith in any of those guys. Who's my best streamer? I'd say probably Man, with the likelihood that George sits as well. What are my thoughts on drafting, trading for someone who gets a lot of value from steals, considering how volatile it is? That's why when I do my projections, I downweight the impact of steals to try and eliminate that impact, because otherwise you will overrate guys. So they still get steals, but their overall value and how that translates into rankings can get skewed. So I drop the appeal of steals, or the weighting of steals, in my projections down to 0.7 or 0.8. I don't remember the exact number. So it doesn't overweight or doesn't overvalue that impact of steals when they are so season to season variable. Would I trade Trae Young and Kyrie for Jokic? Yeah, without question. Has Trey Murphy earned a starting spot? No, he won't start when they're back. There's no way. He's not starting over Ingram or over Zion, and I think they'll want Herb in over him. Who do I have more optimism for rest of season? In a 12-team league, neither Avdia or Pat Williams, no way. At least I know that Pat Williams will start and Avdia won't. So if I had to say one, it's Williams, but no. Last live stream, you said Sohan was a 12-team guy, now 16. No, what I said was, they said, do I add him in 16-team? I go, in a 16-team, absolutely you add him. That doesn't mean that it's only in 16 teams. I think in 12s, he's going to be a borderline player who, with the opportunity and the ups and downs, he's okay to have and okay to roster. But what I'm saying, in 16, there's no way you want to leave him on a waiver wire in a 16-team league. And probably in a 14-team league, he should be rostered. And in a 12, you probably should, but there's going to be ups and downs, and you've got to be able to deal with growing pains as a rookie. No NBA pick'em. All right, let's go do NBA pick'em then. I didn't do it, but we'll do it now. All right, let's go. NBA pick'em. What did I get yesterday? Only 40. That's an L. I've got to make sure the date is correct because it defaults to Saturday for some reason. All right, who will shoot a better field goal percentage, Grizzlies or Magic? Let's go Grizzlies. Don't tell me that. Who will have more steals, Jaren or Fultz? Fultz. Who will hit 15 first, Boston? Who will grab more rebounds, Tatum or Wood? Wood. Who will hit 15 first, Jazz or Rockets? Jazz. Who will block more shots, Jazz or Rockets? Jazz. Who will hit 15 first, Clippers or Nuggets? Nuggets. Make more three-pointers. Ooh. Nuggets. Who will grab more rebounds? Nuggets. There you go. NBA pick'em. Still no more updates on lineups. Okay. Do I collect NBA cards? Nah, I don't. I tried to sort of get back into it, but no. Naz Reid is a hold. Yes. Yep. Do I like the Mavs plus 3.5? Not particularly, no. I think they'll... No, I don't. I think they will Celtics to win by maybe like 5. Okay. Would I be willing to trade Ayton for Tobias and Josh Hart? No way would I do that. Not interested in that trade at all. When streaming, do you look for one-day upside or better schedule, Ryan? That really, it's dependent, isn't it? It depends on how many waiver ads you've got for the week. It depends on where you are in the week. It depends how many ads you got left. It depends how the rest of the week's schedule looks like. You've got to consider both of those things. But if you've got a situation where you're looking at like really busy Saturday and really busy Friday, then just go the one ad on Thursday, then add someone else on Sunday. But if you've got an opportunity to do a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday combination like the Mavericks have now, and you've got limited waiver ads, and then that takes precedence. You're always looking to get as much as you can for as little as you can. You know, if you can get 3 games out of one waiver ad and then use that other waiver ad on the Sunday for someone else, that's great. But getting 3 games out of one waiver ad and then still having 2 waiver ads left on Sunday that you don't use, where you haven't maximized it, when you've got to add a much better player on Thursday and then a better player on Saturday and a better player on Sunday, and still get those extra games and get more value out of those games rather than maybe a subpar player who plays the 3 games, say a Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Where is Scoot going in fantasy? I've got absolutely no idea. Couldn't tell you. Do I play any sports? Not anymore. Too old. I used to play Australian football and cricket when I was younger. Who's a better hold, Al Horford or Dan Gafford? It's probably Gafford, to be honest. It's probably Gafford. What's the game plan for next year? No idea. Have I changed any opinions? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do I think the firing of Silas is off the table due to the passing of his father? No, I don't. I think it probably, if it was going to happen, it might have delayed it, but I think he's still an opportunity to get fired. But I don't think they're in any rush to do it this season, to be fair. I think maybe last season, or at the end of the season, sorry. We've got a couple of minutes left here. What's my roster percentage cutoff for dud of the night lines? I use our advanced roster percentage metric at 70% is the metric I use. And I don't, if someone gets hurt in the game, I don't include them in dud of the night. Like, I don't think that's fair. Where do I want Wemby to end up? Anywhere apart from San Antonio or Charlotte. Don't really care otherwise. Or Detroit, probably. All right. What else are we going to do? Trade Gobert for AD, or is that too risky? I'm not sure that it's that risky. It's not like Gobert's been playing particularly well. It's very hard. Like, it is risky because we just don't know when AD is going to return. But it's not the worst. Is Tate worth the stream today? I really doubt it. I reckon you can find better players. What's my favorite Venga Boys song? Venga Bus. Well, how could it not be the Venga Bus? All right. I reckon that will get us out of here. Shout out if you're a fan of the Venga Boys and the Venga Bus, of course. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, notifications. It's all good. If you want to hear about for sale, go back to the start of this. Go watch it on replay. I will see you guys later.